Hello and welcome everybody, this is Brilliant. Thank you for watching this video about NBA 2K14 My Career Bigman. And even though I'm back in chronological order showcasing highlights of games from my Scottie Pippen project second year, I have something special coming, coming up for you. Here's just a little taste of why. So, as you see, we are playing against Lob City, the LA Clippers, and even though Doc Rivers said in late interviews or interviews lately that they are not supposed to be Lob City anymore, well, it didn't show in this match. Just look at that, the very first possession of the like 10 seconds after the start of the match, already already an alley-oop by Joakim Noah, and then just like 2 minutes later the first lob that of course I had to answer, so it quickly turned out to be, or turned into a dunk fest by well, let's just say that two superstars of the NBA, two superstar dunking machines, and two superstar power forwards of the game, and just it turned into a give and go. So again, the second lob from Blake Griffin, but I cannot really let that happen. So on the very next possession, it's just this was ridiculous. I mean, poor Derrick Rose, he missed the dunk. I mean, Rose, little Rose, here's a lollipop, don't cry. and then another lob to Blake Griffin. I already lost count. I mean, was that number 3 already? And we are like 5 minutes, or maybe, well, little more than 4 minutes into the game, and then, of course, already I had to again answer back. Let's just say that this one counts as 2 points because, or counts as 2 dunks because it was a posterizer on DeAndre Jordan. So let's say the score is even at this point. So it was like I said, ridiculous, but not ridiculous, but ridiculous, if you know what I mean, a game. Okay, let's settle for hilarious game that we had against the Clippers. There was barely anything that was not a dunk in this match. And believe me, the dunks that I showed you at the beginning were not all the dunks, and they were all different dunks, trust me. So there's quite a lot more coming up from where that came from. But of course there was some other action, or there was some other action in the game as well, just like a nice dunk. No. A nice dunk's alright, but a nice block from me on the last possession, actually on on Blake Griffin, and then a dunk. So yeah, a nice dunk is coming up. Actually, in this match, it was like there was a dunk every 2 minutes, just like this one. I mean, of course, and now it turned into like a bit unrealistic because the dunks became unstoppable. So the last dunk that you saw was like, really, I just dunked on the face of, and then I put back dunk. So I just dunked on the face of whoever that was. So it was really unguardable. And just, was that a layup? Oh my god, how did that get you? So, but actually the game turned out to be not only spectacular, but really close actually. And here you can see that my player and Blake Griffin were the two highest scoring big men in the last month or so. Now, Blake Griffin trying to posterize me, not successful yet. Unfortunately, I have to say that it was yet not yet unsuccessful, but still a layup on my face, so I had to answer, and I believe I did. So I didn't really keep the score, but if a posterizer is 2 points and then an alley-oop, okay, let's call it 1 point, then I might be leading. Anyway, at halftime we are, or at least I am, leading. And this was, again, I'm showing you the halftime report because, as you know, it always shows your highlights. And if you didn't have, or you had like 2 or 3 highlights, then it, in the first half, then it will just repeat those. Now this was one of the first, or actually the first, where maybe there was like 1 layup that we saw, and all the other highlights were dunks at the halftime show. So it was no, there is another layup, sorry. So equal amount of layups and dunks from me and Blake Griffin at the halftime show, and then a blocked alley-oop actually. So that's something that we don't see very often. So the only way to the only way to stop Blake Griffin from dunking is, of course, if you like get in the way of the ball, because if you get in the way of Blake Griffin, then, as you will unfortunately see, that's not enough. So oh yeah, and then an alley-oop, but this time the variation is that it's not from Blake Griffin, it's actually from DeAndre Jordan. So that was something kind of unexpected. Oh yes, but here it comes, the another. What was that, like the 7th alley-oop from Blake Griffin, and actually it's kind of a problem in the game, of course. I mean, it's hilarious and quite spectacular, of course, but it can be really frustrating. I mean, I was lucky, or yeah, well, I and the team were lucky that we were able to answer back right away, or just 1 or 2 possessions later, because otherwise it would be like the worst game possible, because of course these alley-oops are unstoppable, and really, trust me, I did try to like get in the way of Blake Griffin. I was already upgrading my own ball defense and my defensive awareness and everything. I was trying to stay in front of him, but it's it's unstoppable. So, but anyway, it was a really enjoyable game. Derrick Rose finally starting the scoring. Well, he cannot do dunks, then maybe a 3-point shot will do, and yes, it does. And as you can see, we are in the middle of kinda of the 3rd quarter, and still it's a head-to-head game. It's not only dunking wise, but scoring wise as well. So not only the 2 big men, oh yes, and the dunk. Not only the 2 big men, meaning me and Griffin, but the shooters as well stepped up. So there were like Dang, and as you saw, oh yeah, and what's coming up again? Oh yes, oh, this one is nasty. I believe, oh yes, Blake Griffin just most-golfed me, unfortunately, but of course he's not the only one who can do like a pump fake. Unfortunately, it looks like a dunk, but then it turns into a single or simple layup. So, okay, Blake, you have the edge so far in the game, but it's still a close match. So the problem is that, of course, these alley-oops are not, I mean, unstoppable. The only, like, I don't know, good thing about it was that it was, of course, Lob City. So Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. So, oh yeah, speaking of DeAndre Jordan, another alley-oop from him. So if this would have been any other team, then it would have been really like, oh, okay, and then another. So against any other team, this would have been like really extremely frustrating. But of course, like if there is one team who should be able to do this, then it should be the Clippers. But nevertheless, it did result in a really spectacular game, and I believe that soon we will see. Well, not a dunk, because I was kind of getting tired towards the end of the game. Gatorade or no Gatorade, I believe I stopped dunking at about this point in the game. But as you can see, I have already 51 points. Rebounding actually is again the other strong point of the Clippers, of course. So against them, don't expect to get that many rebounds, because just like in real life, oh, just look at that! I mean, blocking a floater of Chris Paul. I mean, that's the unblockable shot it's supposed to be. So let's say that one counts as well. And oh yes, finally, Tour, very close, able to finish on the dunk. So he contributed as well. So nice one, Derek. Here is a lollipop. But then immediately, of course, they answer back with another lob. So that was like lob, I don't know, 54 or something like that. But as you can see, we are starting to pull away. Oh yeah, and who was that? It was Butler, I believe. Oh yes, so the last dunk of the game. So at the final minutes, or final few minutes, we were able to pull away and get the win in a bit arcade style, unrealistic game, but it was really enjoyable, really spectacular nevertheless, of course. And the best part of it was that we came away with a win. And strangely enough, as you can see, it didn't really give me that many or that much skill points. So even though it was like a dunk fest, literally a dunk fest, I in previous matches had much more virtual currency than in this one. So that was it for Lob City and the literal dunk fest that we had. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time.